So, Formula One, the Qatar Grand Prix 2025, and the way it started the race, it was obviously the first, second McLaren, and third Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen gets a good start above Lando in the first lap, and it was McLaren, Red Bull, McLaren, 1-3 McLaren, and Verstappen second. And then safety car comes in because of the incident happened between Gasly and Hulkenberg. Safety car comes in, lap 7 I think. And then everybody boxes, everybody pits, which is rightly so because, as Pirelli said, per tire is 25 laps per tire. Except 3 drivers from 2 teams. And one of them were in first and second position and they're fighting for a world championship. Guess who? Yeah, the same team that got disqualified last week, McLaren. Of course. They want to make it dramatic, of course, it's McLaren. It's the way of McLaren. They love to do this kind of things, Yeah. And then, a masterstroke from Red Bull. You have to give credit to them because they pulled off a great strategy, pitting Verstappen and McLaren and everybody boxing. And it looked like, McLaren could be smarter, or the rest are smarter and McLaren are idiots. And in the end, it turned out that McLaren are idiots and the rest were smart. And then, and I think one of the engineers her name is Hannah. She got a lot of praise for that kind of strategy. She was mostly involved in that, so well done to her. She deserves a lot of credit for that. But listen, Red Bull might not have the best car. However, they have better and competent engineers. Whereas McLaren they've got quality drivers, they've built a quality car, but they have people who are stupid. Like, why are you not pitting? Like, I'm sorry, but it was so obvious that they had to pit. Do you not know that in Qatar it's 25 laps per tire? Maximum 25 laps per tire. You don't realize that? You don't realize it's a mandatory two pit stop race? You don't realize that? Like, absolute shambles. Absolute again, another blunder. Another mistake. Once again. And listen, McLaren should have won this race. They should have won. Piastri was fantastic. He should have won this race. McLaren should have had a double podium and they should have won this race. But once again, McLaren will find a way again to shoot themselves in the foot. How many times we've seen them make mistakes like this? Monza last year. Las Vegas this year. Like, many mistakes. Many mistakes in terms of strategy. What are you doing? You effed it once again. McLaren have effed it up. Like, honestly, like Red Bull and Verstappen should be laughing their ass off. The way, looking at what is going on with the McLaren, the way that they're bottling it. McLaren are bottling this drivers' championship. They're absolute bottle jobs. I mean, after Zandvoort, you're 104 points clear of Max Verstappen. I repeat. 104 points clear of Max Verstappen, and they were getting 1-2s right, left, and center, winning game races up right, left, and center. And this is the way you go. This is the way it happens to you at the end. Like, McLaren are bottle jobs. The bottle jobs. The pussies. Like, I look at Andrea Stella and Zach Brown interviews after the race. Zach Brown saying, when we left the 2 drivers to stay out, we did what we thought that we could do the best, not what looking at what others did. Whereas Andrea Stella was saying that we didn't expect everyone to pit. So which one is it? So you were focused on yourselves and making the right decision for yourself, or you were also focusing on others? Which side? Like, you can clearly see there is a miscommunication, disconnection in terms of the drivers. In terms of the engineers and the team principals and the managers. of McLaren in terms of the strategy and engineering. You can clearly see there's miscommunication. You can clearly see it. How can you fumble this so badly? Like after Las Vegas, before this qualification, it was set and done. It was almost guaranteed that Lando was going to win the championship. But no, somehow, some way, McLaren will always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. And they should have won this race. They should have won this race and they should have had a double podium. But of course, it's the history of McLaren. They always make it difficult for themselves. They always shoot themselves in the foot. Look at 2007. Even last year, in the Constructors, when they should have won against Ferrari in a more comfortable way in the Constructors. When Ferrari last season, they had the fastest car for only 3 or 4 races. And that's it. They were the Ferrari always the second fastest, third fastest, fourth fastest, but they were never really the fastest car. They're only 3-4 races, and that's it. And somehow they nearly blew that championship as well last season. They nearly lost it. Honestly, McLaren, how can you be this incompetent team? How you've won the Constructor Championship. You've dominated the championship, the Constructors. You've built a great car. How can you fumble this so badly? Honestly, do you not know how embarrassing it will be for you to lose this Drivers' Championship? Listen, I'm not taking away from Max Verstappen's amazing comeback because he's a lion, by the way, and he's coming. He's coming and he's hunting them down. And McLaren are scared. You can clearly see McLaren are scared of Verstappen. You can clearly see it. Everybody knows it. They're scared. But again, I've never seen a team fumble this badly. Making mistakes after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. What is this? This is a team that has won the Constructors 2 seasons in a row? Or this is the Mickey Mouse team? What is this? What is this? I criticized McLaren last week, saying how can you have two drivers in 2 cars disqualified, and driving an illegal car in the most critical time of the season, and now this when you had the race in your hands, you had it in your hands, you have to hold it in your hands, hold it, but no, they didn't hold it, they throw it away, like it was a piece of paper or something. They throw it like it was a piece of paper. No, we don't care. No. 25 points, double podium, win. No. Whatever. We only care about the constructors. That's the most important thing. This is McLaren. The McLaren way. The fair racing. Never stop racing. We're very fair, respectful to our drivers. Loyal, respect. Very fair, clean, honest. Stop this nonsense. McLaren, stop this nonsense. You're not helping yourself. If you lose this Drivers' Championship, do you know how embarrassing it will that be? Do you know how embarrassing that will be? Verstappen should not be winning this race. Verstappen should not be winning that race, by the way. Red Bull were not even faster than the McLaren. Red Bull were, they lost to the 2 McLarens in the qualifying by 3 tenths, 4 tenths. They should not be this, and Verstappen was far away from Piastri before the safety car came in. But no, of course, McLaren have to find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. Of course, it's the McLaren way, my friends. It's the McLaren way. Of course, it's the McLaren way. They have to do it. Honestly, but are we really surprised? McLaren have to do this. I'm telling you right now, Max Verstappen is going to win the championship. Because you can't... Listen, Lando should still win the title. But looking at this team from McLaren, can you really trust them? Can you really trust them to get them over the line? And if I'm being very honest with you, if one of the McLaren... I know this is something off the topic. But if one of the McLaren people who are working, and they told me they would, I wanted them to buy me, let's say, a new jacket, a right jacket, the jacket that I want, and I told them, please buy my right jacket. Would I trust them to even buy a right jacket for me? I wouldn't even trust them to do that. That's how incompetent and stupid they are. That you can't even if they have the best car, they can't. You can't even trust them to make a simple like decision. Every team pitted. Every team. And you, the guys who are supposed to be the benchmark, trying to win the championship. Supposed to win the championship, and you bottle this like this. Like, what is this? Like, how? I don't understand. But at the same time, looking at the drivers' championship table, by the way, a great podium for Carlos Sainz as well. A great strategy from Williams and from James Vowles for Carlos Sainz to get another podium. Well done, congratulations. And he's now like 8 points, something like that, behind Albon. Considering it's crazy, considering how much Albon was amazing in the start of the season and Sainz was struggling at the start. So another great performance from Sainz. Well done to him. Piastri second, and I feel sorry for him. He performed amazingly well, and he should have won the race, but because of his team, he couldn't. Verstappen. Listen, Red Bull were not the fastest, but they were the smartest in terms of the strategy, and that's how they won the race. So well done, congratulations. Great performance from Verstappen and for the Red Bull team. Lando finishing fourth, where he should have been in the podium, but because of McLaren incompetence, he left behind Antonelli, and he went past him in the final lap. Oh, sorry, yes, the penultimate lap, because Kim Antonelli's tires were kind of dead, and he made a mistake, went off the track, and Lando took advantage of it. I've seen people say Kimi Lando on purpose. I mean, you must be so stupid to think that. Why Kimi would do that? Why? But anyway, Mercedes were not that great. But yeah, like another great performance from Verstappen, another great and also from Red Bull as well, because they, the strategy of Red Bull, the engineers of Red Bull, they won the race. They won Verstappen the race. Because I don't think if they meant that smart, if they didn't outsmart McLaren in terms of the strategy, I don't think they would have won this race. But they did it, and phenomenal job from Red Bull once again. And I think with the way things are looking right now, I would say they have a very good chance of winning the Drivers' Championship, Red Bull, because even if Red Bull, for the most of the year they couldn't deliver Verstappen a good car, you can still trust them to get it over the line, because they've got experienced and good competent people. And Verstappen is a guy that is driving amazingly well. Again, driving at an incredible level. He's doing amazingly well. He's in an amazing run of form. I mean, he was 104 points after Zandvoort behind, and for him to come back and still take the title to Abu Dhabi, and even still have a good chance of winning the title at Abu Dhabi, even after what happened after the qualifying in Brazil, amazing. He deserves lots of credit. Well done to Verstappen. I mean, he shows once again why he's the best driver in Formula 1 right now. Amazing. And now he's 12 points behind Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri 16 points behind Lando, and Oscar Piastri 4 points behind Max. Listen, Lando is the favorite. Lando should still win the title. He only needs to get the podium in Abu Dhabi, and you can't see him doing that on pure pace, because Ferrari are nowhere. Kim Antonelli, no. I think the only guy maybe I could see him deny Norris getting a podium are Piastri, Verstappen, and also Russell. But at the same time, I could see Norris getting a podium at Abu Dhabi. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get a podium in Abu Dhabi, considering with McLaren's incompetence. Like, he should have had the podium in Las Vegas, but disqualified because of McLaren's incompetence, and now this Qatar, same thing. So, and I feel sorry for Piastri as well, because he was amazing this weekend. For the win to be taken away from him from something he cannot control it's devastating for him. So, yeah. Lando is still in a good position, but I don't trust this McLaren team to get over the line. So that's why I changed my prediction, and I say Verstappen is going to win this Drivers' Championship, because okay, McLaren might have the fastest car and they should be quick in Abu Dhabi, but I don't trust them to get it over the line. I don't trust them. I trust Red Bull to get it over the line. I trust the guys who are experienced in Red Bull and they've won championships before to get it over the line. So even though it's a new era with Laurent Mekies this time, so yeah. And Laurent Mekies, by the way, since he came to the team, by the way, he's done a good job, so you have to give him credit for that as well. So yeah, great win for Red Bull, great win for Verstappen, and I think if they win this driver championship, considering with the amazing comeback they've had, I think if they win it, then they will deserve it. So fantastic, well done to Verstappen, great drive again, and yeah, can't wait for Abu Dhabi. A 3 horse race for the title for Abu Dhabi. It's going to be very very fascinating. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.